Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you want to improve your English through stories, you are in the right place. Today's story is called Miller and Hayes Bakery. It's about two rival bakers, always competing, always against each other. But when disaster strikes, they discover something they never expected. After the story, I'll teach you some useful expressions from the story, one by one, with clear examples you can use in your daily English. Let's start now.
In a small English town, two bakeries stood right next to each other on the same street. One was called Miller's Bakery, owned by a young woman named Charlotte. The other was called Hayes Bakery, owned by a young man named William. The two bakeries had been rivals for many long years, ever since Charlotte's father first opened his shop across from William's family business. Charlotte said her bread was the best in the whole town, without any doubt. William said the exact same thing about his own bread every single day. Every morning, they put their finest loaves in the window, trying hard to look better than the other one. The whole town found their little war very funny to watch year after year. Charlotte and William never missed a single chance for a small joke at each other. If William made bigger cakes, Charlotte made hers with even more sugar on top the very next day. If Charlotte added colorful flowers to her window, William added even brighter ones right after. Customers walked slowly between the two little shops, laughing quietly at the silly, ongoing competition. Some people in town secretly bought bread from both bakeries, just to see who would notice first. Charlotte and William always noticed without fail, every single time, and they always had something clever and funny to say about it to each other. One bright morning, exciting news arrived and spread quickly through the whole town. The town council announced a big baking contest open to every baker in the area. The winner would receive an official contract to supply bread for every town event that entire year. Charlotte smiled brightly, already imagining her own name written proudly on the winning sign. William laughed loudly across the street, completely certain he would win the contest instead of her. Both of them began working much harder than ever before, testing exciting new recipes late into the night. Their competition, already quite funny before, became even more intense and exciting for the whole town to watch happen. Just one single week before the big contest, a sudden summer storm hit the quiet town without warning. Heavy rain fell all through the night, and the narrow street flooded badly by the early morning. Charlotte rushed downstairs in her nightclothes and found her flour storage completely ruined by the rising water. She groaned loudly, thinking about all her lost work and wasted ingredients. Then through the thin wall, she heard William shouting the exact same complaint next door. Both of their flour supplies were destroyed, and the important contest was only days away now. Neither of them had enough dry flour left to bake absolutely anything at all. William, however, had one small dry storage room upstairs, above his shop, still completely untouched by the terrible flood. Charlotte, both desperate and proud at the same time, knocked loudly on his door anyway that very morning. William opened it slowly, looking just as desperate and tired as she did. Neither of them truly wanted to ask the other for help, not after so many years of friendly rivalry. But neither of them wanted to lose the contest either, especially not to the other. After a long, awkward silence between them, William finally sighed and stepped aside from the doorway. Charlotte walked in quietly, carrying her baking tools carefully. From that morning on, they would have to share the very same small room. At first, working together felt strange and quite uncomfortable for both of them, every single hour. Charlotte complained that William used far too much flour all at once, wasting precious supplies. William complained loudly that Charlotte always took the biggest mixing bowl for herself first. They argued constantly over the oven, the small table, and even the best window light. But slowly, without either one truly noticing it happening at first, they also started laughing together more and more. One afternoon, William made a joke about his own badly burnt bread. and Charlotte laughed so hard she nearly dropped her mixing bowl completely onto the floor. Days passed slowly, and the small shared room started to feel less like a battlefield between enemies. Charlotte began handing William ingredients quietly before he even asked her for them out loud. William started saving Charlotte the warmest spot near the oven, without ever saying a single word about it. They still teased each other constantly, of course, but their words felt lighter now, somehow softer than before. Neither of them wanted to admit anything out loud yet, not even to themselves completely. But secretly, deep down, they had both started looking forward to seeing the other every single morning without fail. The night before the big contest, Charlotte and William stayed very late, testing one final recipe together in the quiet kitchen. Almost without planning it at all, they started mixing their two different recipes into one entirely new creation. It combined Charlotte's soft, sweet bread with William's rich, buttery crust perfectly. They tasted it together at the same moment, both going completely silent with pure surprise. It was without any doubt at all the very best thing either of them had ever baked in their lives. They looked at each other slowly, both smiling the exact same excited, nervous smile at once. On the important morning of the contest, Charlotte and William stood together in front of the town judges, holding just one single loaf of bread between them. The watching crowd made a surprised sound all at once, whispering excitedly about the town's two famous rival bakers standing calmly side by side. The judges tasted the warm bread slowly, then looked at each other with wide, deeply impressed eyes. There was truly no need for any more words between anyone at that moment. Everyone gathered in town already knew, just from watching their faces closely, exactly who was about to win the entire contest that day. Charlotte and William won the baking contest together, and the whole town cheered loudly with real delight and surprise. But something else important had happened too. Something even better than simply winning first place. Standing together that day, surrounded completely by their cheering neighbors and friends, they finally admitted what they had both secretly known for many weeks already. They decided right there on the spot, in front of everyone, to join their two small bakeries into one single business. A new sign soon appeared proudly on the street, Miller and Hayes Bakery, painted in bright, cheerful letters. And every single morning after that day, they baked happily together, side by side, for many years to come. Now let's learn some useful expressions from today's story. The first one is, never missed a chance. In the story, Charlotte and William never missed a chance for a small joke at each other. This means they never let an opportunity pass by. For example, my grandmother never misses a chance to tell that story. Or, he never misses a chance to help a friend. The next one is news spread. Remember? Exciting news arrived and spread quickly through the whole town. Spread here means information moving from person to person. For example, the good news spread fast through the office. Or, rumors spread quickly in a small town. Here's another one. Hit, a storm. Hit the quiet town without warning. In English, we use hit for disasters and strong events, not just physical contact. For example, the hurricane hit the coast, or the news hit her hard. Let's look at stepped aside. William finally sighed and stepped aside from the doorway. This can mean simply moving physically, but it can also mean giving up a position, letting someone else take your place. For example, the manager stepped aside to let a younger employee lead the project. Next is went silent. Charlotte and William, tasting their new bread, went completely silent with pure surprise. This means suddenly stopping speaking, usually because of strong emotion. For example, the whole room went silent when she started to cry. Here's a very natural one. No need for. At the contest, there was truly no need for any more words. This means something is unnecessary because the situation is already clear. For example, there's no need for an apology. It wasn't your fault. Now, all at once. The crowd made a surprise sound all at once. This expression has two meanings. It can mean at the same time, like here, or it can mean suddenly. For example, they all cheered at once, or all at once it started to rain, and finally, for years to come. The story ends with Charlotte and William baking together for years to come. This means something that will continue happening far into the future. For example, this building will stand for years to come. Or, I'll remember this trip for years to come. These are all real expressions from today's story, and every single one is genuinely useful in daily English.
And that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed Miller and Hayes Bakery, and I hope these expressions help you sound more natural in English. If you learned something today, please give this video a like and subscribe for a new story every week. It really helps me. Thank you for learning with me today. I'll see you next time, right here on the channel. Bye for now.